Hello, I'm Michael Brooke, and I'm here to tell you about the second instalment in a series of recent and contemporary Polish films to be screened at Waterman's on the big screen, followed by an online discussion which I'll be hosting. Now, many of my favourite recent films are ones that crept up on me unexpectedly with no advance hype. 4 years ago, I knew nothing about Piotr Domalewski's first feature Silent Night going in, and so I was completely unprepared for how engrossing it turned out to be. Essentially, it's about a man who returns to his provincial hometown in Poland after forging a new life in the Netherlands, only to discover that his family have virtually become strangers, culturally, economically, you name it. And what really struck me about it was Domalewski's generosity towards these characters. He clearly fully believes in Jean Renoir's famous maxim that everyone has their reasons, and the many family rows are intensified by the fact that we increasingly realise where all the participants are coming from, and while we may not sympathise with them all the time, we do at least understand them. I wasn't surprised to find out later that the film came out of a keen personal interest in the subject of emigration, and that Domalewski had grown up in a part of Poland where immigration was routine. In interviews, he uses the term Euro orphans to describe those left behind. And it's a subject that he continues to explore in his second feature, although this time from a very different perspective. Here's the trailer.
Halo, Olko, za ile będziesz?
Co się stało?
Na budowie był wypadek.
Co?
Krzysztof Chudzik nie żyje.
Kto tam jest?
Nie będzie tata leżał gdzieś tam nie wiadomo gdzie. Trzeba go stamtąd zabrać.
Lotnisko raz.
Sobie cię nie wezmę.
A teraz? I need to transport a body.
To where?
Poland.
Polska. Pierogi.
Często tak robisz?
To był mój debiut.
Jakby ci było zimno, to do mnie zapraszam.
Weź młotek, nie świruj, to jest córka Krzyśka.
Co to znaczy?
Żadnych pieniędzy nie dostaniesz. I to przejebane. Witamy w Irlandii.
Nie płacz. Ja nigdy nie płaczę. Przepraszam.
Now that gives a pretty accurate impression of the film without giving away too much, and the less you know going in, the better, because it is, at least in part, a suspenseful detective story. Only the detective here is a 17-year-old girl, Olka, who is sent on a mission to Ireland to repatriate the body of her father Krzysztof, who was killed in an industrial accident. Not only does she have to find out what happened, but in the process she also discovers that Krzysztof's actual life in Dublin didn't quite resemble the rosier portrait that he painted for her from a safe distance. The film makes huge demands on lead actor Zofia Staffier, who'd never acted in front of a camera before. But much like the equally inexperienced Tim Roth in Alan Clark's Made in Britain, she's such a force of nature that you wouldn't dare question her credentials, certainly not to her face. Like all too many 17-year-olds, she's recklessly impulsive, given to sudden bursts of anger, and is nowhere near as confident as she'd like people to think, especially in a situation where her very identity is repeatedly being redefined with each new revelation about her father. In short, she's being forced to grow up, in circumstances that she'd never personally have chosen, so it's no wonder that she rebels at seemingly every opportunity. She's riveting to watch, as is the film, which Waterman's is showing on the big screen on 23rd, 26th and 27th July, and on Wednesday 28th July at 8 p.m. I'll be hosting a free online discussion, and there should be plenty to talk about.